you know, faced off with each other so many times. But the only difference this time is that Full Sense has some changes. John Olsen to the Sentinel, Potter, a fresh new, you know, blood coming through as well, and Alert as well. And you know, watching him play last time I casted, Alert has been able to provide so much support for the team that really enabled Potter and Leviathan just really pop off.
Yeah, Leviathan especially. I know he's been a big name. You can see him in the highlight reel at the beginning of the day. But other than that, also just considering the very interesting agent compositions that we have in our hands.
Aggression on mid side already. Suppression toward Kadum. So not able to dash. Now he can. Recon straight. Do they check Laz is the question. They're not going to push. Straight toward Catwalk. Might be able to catch them as they go through the smokes. There we go. Potter down already. That's their initiator in. Was smoked. But he still wins it. Goes down finally. Kadum and Killua 1v1. Love this pacing as Killua gonna get another shield. And it's a round win. Only losing Sephiroth mid. What a start.
Yeah, just being able to make use of their positioning as well as the agent compositions, honestly. Having that shield is so useful for Killua, the double tap that is, and whenever he swings out alongside it. But at the same time, for Full Sense, just not quite being able to break through. I think we're trying to capitalize on some of the bits of information that they retrieve. You know, Sushi Boys at the 0 point wanting to take down Kadum, but then not quite being able to break past that.
He has high expectations for Full Sense, right? Given the fact that most of these players were previous players from Talon who played quite some time.
Only Sushi Boys now.
Yeah, not only Sushi Boys now, unfortunately, with Fox out. But, you know, they did bring quite a big streak to the league based on that experience.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much more it can really provide. Into the pistol now, you have a lot of these big guns on the A site.
Flash, Potter in already, sprays out, and beautifully done! Sephiroth unmoved. It's gonna be flawless. MiTH taking the second round.
Just very cleanly able to turn things back. Holding on to their guns, that's what you always want to have, Tash. But for Full Sense now, how can they really cement their start into this map where, you know, I mean, Tide teams are just so darn familiar with it, but they're bringing out these interesting compositions. It has worked out in the past for Full Sense when they played against Fancy, especially in with this Neon, but it's gonna have that same, can they repeat that same success against MiTH?
Recon forward. Sephiroth does have a bit of support here. Killua is there, so you have a lot of support. Honestly, you can just kind of move out of the way if you want to. You can double swing. You have the shields as well. But they will concede their hold onto a main and instead play in the side itself. But smoked off here. Gotta think twice about pushing that.
Yeah, I like that smoke. Sephiroth playing close with the Spectre as well. And then he's got Killua behind him. So Full Sense trying to be very careful around it.
There.
So, okay.
Re-smoke too.
They still want to go in.
I like this position from Sephiroth. Understanding that you have a Spectre, you want to be able to spray as much as you can as they kind of rush through. But a lot of time here in Full Sense, they can just keep quiet. They can just sort of like bait the idea that they're rotating. But here we come. Here comes the explosive entry onto the side. Whoa, what is
Spike down A.
Goes down in the end to Sushi Boys, but the damage is done.
And
now
then the smokes again.
You have the 0 point broken.
30 seconds
Full
left.
Sense are just scratching their heads. No clue how to get onto the site.
Oh, and this could be the bonus round picked up. All thanks to Killua with those 2 initial picks. It's not over yet. Kadum still has his work cut out for him.
Sushi Boys gonna find one. Kadum playing this corner very well with CGRS.
One enemy remaining.
With the Ares in hand, in fact. Man, when was the last time I saw someone buy an Ares in pro play?
I mean, Ares / Odin with a Sova is a match made in heaven.
So true.
Always good, especially on a map like Descent. But it always works out so well, given the fact that MiTH just completely foiled Full Sense's plans. And that's why I was really thinking, like, you had that smoke, and it's a very intentional A main off angle smoke just to set up for anyone who might be up around the other side, and they still push through it.
Truly. Just clearing out those corners with the 0 point. Potter this time with only a sheriff in hand. Now, I think the other day, last time I casted them, Potter was able to slide in, get headshots. But I haven't seen him be able to do that quite yet. Aldrone just to clear up the angles, the corners, but oh, yikes. Chip damage onto Alert and Potter. Yep, that's the power of that gun.
Completely deterring them from the B site. Now they're thinking about mid. And I've always felt that, you know, Neon on Ascent is a bit tricky to utilize if you're not able to set it up correctly. So trying to use the fast lane to bring the attention away from sites now. But MiTH are not biting on any of these rotations. You still have CGRS. He will set up.
Tripwire destroyed.
Recon trip broken already. Laz on the ready. Looking to play off the back of sight. Fortunately, he will be noted by the knife.
30 seconds left.
He's still holding. Here's the sound of footsteps here. Shoot spray now for CGRS and Laz. Sharp as ever. Odin in hand. Potter. Good headshot onto Killua. But he plays perfectly from behind the smokes, and it's good enough for him to get another round in the bag. Mid look unstoppable right now.
Yeah, 4-0 start. That's just perfect. The Odin on CGRS, that's perfect-er. Last though, I mean, like, able to kind of anchor down the site towards the back that way around Boathouse. That's what you want to have in the Cypher player. So full sense, they've been struggling to break through it. They managed to make this comp work against Fancy, but is it gonna happen again? That's once again the thing that I'm kind of score with this composition against Zol, who was playing like very default Ascent. I don't know how it's gonna work against this.
I mean, these two have been duking up against each other a lot, right? So there is that expectation that they know how to play off each other. There's the expectation that you know what to expect of each other. Re-smoking once again on A main. That's been like the biggest problem because Sephiroth is just not really letting go of his grip onto the A site.
Yeah, and look at that trip as well. Unless you use the shock dart to really break it and then push it off of that. And that's like very tiny margins as well.
See Paranoia, a flash as well. Despite that, Full Step still can't get in the site, and a spray from Sephiroth is the one that stops onto Potter's head. He's down and out.
Sprayed in, tagged up. No more entries possible. I mean, you're gonna lose a lot of mobility with that agent gone. So unless John Olsen is able to take a heads-up duel against Killua, I don't see this round being
30 seconds left.
He does. John Olsen, sharp as ever. Huge for that, and now straight onto B site. Smoked out of the way as well. Now we have the null command activated from Sushi Boys. Just to make sure no smokes can be put, no utilities can be placed. Alert. Very alert on that push onto mid area as well, excuse me. As Kadum still holding. We're just waiting for him, but it's Kadum that wins it in the end.
Now, this is the first time we're seeing Full Sense in with a clean sight take. Will they be able to hold it off? MiTH surrounding them, but John Olsen, ooh.
Last player
CGRS
standing.
was ready, but John Olsen playing off the utilities, Sushi Boy straights. And they finally get around on the board. It was rough for Full Sense, but they're finally figuring it out.
Yeah, and the way that they made it work, despite losing Potter, was to kind of play around the timing of things, the pacing with how they rotated over. Killua wasn't able to react in time. John Olsen, once again, the big veteran name, was the one instead who was able to find that entry for Full Sense. So with that, they were then able to take down site. With that, they were then able to push players like CGRS even further back once the MiTH tried to set up for the retake. So maybe we'll get to see more of that. But for now, Sephiroth trying to block them off. Smoke's already out.
Once again, Full Sense find themselves in the same position, the same problem. Choked out of A, the smoke not allowing them to get in. No clue if there's a trip there. No clue about how many people are on the site. And this time around, they're not looking to challenge.
not at all. The smoke's being drawn away. Oh, Omen ult being used to gather information. Only one player spotted outside of A, but that's still enough of a tell to call for a smoke off. Kadum has B locked down with that operator.
Going to the site already, they're waiting. As soon as the smoke goes, they might try to just quickly explode onto the site, but you can tell that for Sephiroth, he's just ready to drop that paranoia and completely spray. Spots out Potter already. Paranoia out, here comes the shield's double tap as well. Location noted already. Last fight, find the Potter. Hold hands together to get onto the site. And now it's just the B players left, forced to play a retake against four people. And John Olsen is over a mid side. They didn't even check him. His timing can be right. He can go for a backstab if he wants to, and he might. Here, he sprays, good for one, up onto Kadum's hands, and now is the call to save. No, he doesn't. Swaps to the Vandal instead, easier for that retake. Hoping to see if he can get any pickoffs in the end. For Leviathan! Job's not done. Dash is on the site. A tap forward. Where to look, where to see. A recon. Gives an idea that they're both here together. They spray.
Gotta go.
But a good idea to keep the op out of sight.
Good attempt.
Don't get
surprised he managed to get in for it. Almost able to flick back on towards the second target there. But nonetheless, I see what this Neon does now. Because the one difference into how Full Sense was able to take down the site was, you know, like what we saw from the previous series, to use the Neon as a human drone. He managed to do that little 180 air strafe back into its A main, and that's what baited out Sephiroth's paranoia a little bit too early. Did not hit anyone, and off of that, Full Sense was able to take down the site cleanly. So they need a bit of that early space, and then to use some of those Neon acrobatics to push into sight. Bless you.
I'm out.
Knife forward, Kadum. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, an updraft forward. This time it misses. Not enough. You hear the roar of the Odin coming in from CTRS as well. Giving a lot of problems. They already have control of market. They already have control of B main. But it's getting onto the site is the big problem that they've had many, many times.
Yeah, a little bit. Especially with, you know, the full team on the other side ready to strike.
Potter here. Waiting the right time for Killua. Oh, that sidestep.
One enemy remaining.
And Sephiroth quickly just eliminates alert. John Olsen all alone. We've seen him do miracles, but not in this situation. A flawless, in fact, for that. MiTH up to 5.
CGR's having fun with the Odin. 5-2 at the start of this first half. Is a very good score. The timeout now being called. They've got the ultimates. They don't have the money. But what they're wondering about is how they can possibly turn this around on its head. You know, they've had some opportunities to do that, and they've managed to take a little bit of early space several times before. But until they were really able to kind of force MiTH to spend or to create these little windows of opportunity for them, whether it's getting that Odin to go off into a reload, getting that paranoia sent out a little bit earlier than they would have wanted it to, then Full Sense would be able to go in. But because MiTH is able to kind of play around these now, it's that much more difficult for Full Sense to break into sites.
I'm so sorry, Quack, but I was looking at John Olsen today. So the other day he had a big drink and a banana. Today he has the poison and a boba, I believe. I'm sorry. It's a little thing that me and Dax are watching for. But you're right. You know, coming in from that, right, I also really want to add as well, like, how, you know, the utility can help them break onto the site itself. And it feels like they just didn't have that confidence to just really challenge it. Because most of the time, MiTH has just been reacting off them. I want to see Full Sense really challenge them. I want to see the speed I saw the last time they played against Zol.
Destabilizing.
Hasn't worked out quite too well. Speed not quite there because they gotta respect MiTH, and MiTH right now pushing out.
But they already know where John Olsen is. Oh man! John Olsen down. They know where the Sova is as well. Tag down and quickly just played off that. Reaction time insane. Potter had no chance to react. Breaks the window. They get the plant at the very least. But it's still a 2-on-5. They weren't able to get a single pick-off out of that. Fight might. Moves out the way, paranoia out. Tucks himself into the depths of hell. Sushi Boys push forward, but unfortunately for him... Oh no! It's Killua that goes down! CJRS wall bangs onto Leviathan. He gets 2 in fact as CJRS tried to helicopter his way on, so... Bit of damage, but it's still gonna go in the way of MiTH.
Sushi Boys, though, with those flicks. I mean, that's why he was on Talon, right?
Yep.
But at the same
How
time...
sharp he is.
Yeah, he's always been an outstanding player, but not always like the loudest voice sometimes. But then, go back into MiTH, and you're looking at how they set themselves up, how they have that confidence to really push out, making some of these reads sometimes. A lot of it comes down to the setups that they have, and I really wonder if this composition was picked intentionally to play against Full Sense. You know, they might have seen how Full Sense employed their neon composition inside of stage 2, so I mean, you can really start to feel the effects of how this Cypher and this ISO plays out against them now.
Oh man, what happened there? Kadoom out wallbang to hell, honestly.
Cover going
Good advantage for them. Usually it's MiTH with the opening, so Kadoom out gives them a little less firepower to deal with, but still doesn't solve a lot of their problems so far, which is getting onto the site itself. And this is Full Sense map pick.
I know exactly where
Both sides are very close to all of their ultimates, though, and you would think that Potter's ultimate is one of the bigger factors.
Quickly just finds the Sushi Boys. CGRS with that Hunter Spirit to find John Olsen. We do have Sushi Boys back in the game at the very least. Now moved out the way here, Sephiroth. He is the owner of this lane. Finds one to his name, and so does Laz. Alert. Holding. Found CGRS with utility in hand and just pops it back to main. Drops the spike. Has to figure out where to go next. Here from the shadows to get the pickoff onto Sephiroth as well. Oh, for the rest of Full Sense. Hoping it's for that
30
fake,
seconds
but
left.
was actually read very well by Laz.
Still, though, 1-on-2.
Oh, Alert was... Okay, his name is Alert, and he's definitely Alert.
Being able to turn things around. I mean, the entire push got stifled. Still, MiTH, in some situations, not quite able to turn things around due to the little trades that Full Sense are able to bring things, to turn things back in. I mean, losing Kadoom really early on, that's one of the things that you're feeling about this composition, is that you can't go for certain plays like the standard tiles crunch that you would have if you would have a KO instead of the ISO. So not having that flash really turns things a little bit differently.
Paranoia trying to set it up for Kadoom. Sushi Boys goes, but we are still in the Ryoki Tenkai! But it's Killua! And loses in the end. Potter, he's looking sharp as heck. Sephiroth still here. Playing strategically with the smoke, plays behind guys, moves out the way. Last falls. Potter, does he know? No, he doesn't. Will fall as well. CGRS with that Odin is doing so much damage onto Full Sense. It's honestly disgusting to watch. Spots on one already. Reacts off that recon. John Olsen. But finds Sephiroth in the end. And now, a retake with the Odin! And he's making it work! Not quite! Alert with that Guardian just sharper.
It comes close to it, but the Odin does take a second to kind of fire up. Meanwhile, if you are alert, you just gotta have good aim. Click away with the Guardian. So
this is insane.
Yeah. I mean, that's the strength of the ISO. That's why these compositions are so interesting to watch on a classic map like Ascent, when you have the intentional game plan to remove a player away from your opponent's attack, so you're down to the 5v4, right? But then, with Full Sense being that strong, just being able to fire back so effectively, even CGRS, having the experience to utilize the Odin in such a fashion, is not able to clutch it up. So, Full Sense now, being able to go in a lot more aggressively, like you mentioned before, Tash. They get that early space, they go in really fast, not allowing for MiTH to set up for any retake or anything whatsoever. That's kind of what's giving Full Sense the strength in their little comeback. I mean, 6-4, not quite the second half yet, but they are very close to tying things up.
Yeah. I think for full sense, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they do take some time to really figure out things. And once they do, they kind of get the ball rolling. And then suddenly it's just full speed ahead. Especially with Potter, from what I've seen last time they played, is that he thrives when he's feeling good. He thrives when he's starting to just really warm up. And I think the same could be said about right now, right? We didn't really see him online until, I think, what, 2 rounds ago? And I think this timeout is good. If they stop his momentum, it could go in their favor.
Destabilizing.
So both sides definitely vying for that lead. Now the money is starting to run a little bit dry. MiTH definitely needing to turn things back around in this very round. Otherwise, they would have to go on an eco. Trying to set up themselves defensively. CGRS swapping over to a different spot.
It will be the area of contention here, CGRS. Vying to just completely obliterate anyone coming in toward Pizza. Aldrone will be noted here. Basically, Potter is trying to break it, keeping Leviathan at least a little bit more hidden for the time being.
The one you want to think about is Laz as well, though. I mean, it's a bit of a crossfire-ish setup towards Pizza. They're setting up for it with a flash. Okay.
They flashed, but finds nothing. No reaction, no sound. Eyes on A, actually.
Mid control, plant alert. A split push into the site.
Oh, here we go.
Has to
Hunter's
be
Fury.
the one
30
to
seconds
survive.
left.
A lot of damage onto Potter.
What?
Forced out of B. The sprays this time around. CGRS not able to capitalize on the side already. We hear the overdrive to come through. Kadum and Killua, 1 each. So Potter wasn't really able to get
Spike down B.
a lot of value from that overdrive. Leviathan
10
wins
seconds
it.
left.
Sharp as ever. Both
Last
house
player
clear.
standing.
Laz from Market. You know where he is.
enemy
He's swinging
remaining.
out. 2 HP. The hero. But there's still one more to worry about. But time not on their
Supply
side.
destroyed.
Yeah, time has run out. So
Last
with that
round
little
before the
play,
switch.
MiTH, with the individual fragging capabilities of each and every one of their players, are able to still turn things around and to keep themselves going for one more round. Guns still not quite there, not always, but it's the same story for full sense. The only difference is that MiTH are the ones walking away with the round win, so that's what hurts them at the very end of it all. I mean, you look at how Full Sense was kind of pulling back and forth towards it. CGRS goes down, but Kadum just continues to push out.
Immediately hear that spray as well from CGRS. Kadum quick to react to that camera.
Right here.
I think they're gonna try and contest this.
Take flight.
String to B. CGRS at least makes his presence known, but without the utility set up for him, spanking on the side of the game.
Stand up, Potter! Sharp. Fast lane on the site. Not much movement as well. Cage as well as the fragment set up for him.
Spike planted.
But this time around it's a faster movement into the site. Gets that plant. Now a retake. All bangs abound.
Trying to spam away, but look at how Full Sense are preventing them from breaking through.
So many crossfires here with Sushi Boys. Sephiroth already on logs. John Olsen on one end, Kadum Sharp, but look at the reaction and answer back from Sushi Boys and Leviathan. This looks a lot more dominating
sides.
from Full Sense. 7-5 half.
Split 3, stage 3. A big tie civil war between the two
Cover going
teams.
out.
But then again, so
Right
far
here.
it's been MiTH in the lead by 2 rounds as we go into the second half. Alert trying to tag away. But at the very same time, it still is Full Sense now swapping over onto the defensive side. So MiTH, a little bit more of a default approach. They're not quite
Over
pushing
there.
up too far yet.
Area contestant this time mid. Alert's really placed himself so far back. You're just jumping to see everyone crossing.
Doesn't see anything yet though. But what you want to think about is how
Revealing
MiTH
area.
will make use of this Jet ISO combination. Right? They definitely hear Alert jump peeking off the little ledge.
It feels
So-
like me in the kitchen at night.
Just making noise, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're hungry for snacks and food, we're hungry for kills as well, and we're thinking about going in towards the A site to look for that.
They place that smoke nicely just to give them a little bit of space getting inside, but still gonna get tagged. Kadoom, sharp as ever. Trades on trades
30
here, but
seconds
the
left.
one on top is MiTH. 2 pickoffs already. Laz placed in the middle. So, oh, this could be massive. Is he able to get the timing right? I don't think they're aware at all. John Olsen did this previously, and now they're about to be served their own dose, excuse me, of medicine. Jumping forward, one tap to the head. It's huge. Not able to get more. A cage just to stop them from pushing up here. Alert, swinging out. He wins it. Still, 2 versus 3. 2 inside of hell. One crossfire
remaining.
forward. Killua sharp. Now it's just finding alert. Pistols gonna go once again to MiTH.
Yeah, good approach towards the A site for sure. I mean, like you mentioned, it's something that John Olsen did before, but it still is just such a sound game plan. Having that lurk in towards bottom mid, buying time away from the retake. And if this keeps up, I mean, you could definitely look at MiTH possibly winning out this round. And then, you know, once we head into Abyss, that's MiTH's map pick. Who knows how that could go? You got the earrings back in.
0 point. Smokes one way as well. Sushi boys. Waiting to see if anyone were to push toward 3.
There's a bit of that, but also 4 stack on A site, I think, is the more interesting thing to look at.
Oh, yeah.
The positioning of that as well. I mean, like, is that generator or are they around heaven?
Around heaven.
John
There we
Olsen,
go.
yeah. So all around the site, if anyone dares to challenge that smoke, those pistols might be able to do their thing.
They get the orb. Re-smoke.
Take flight.
All drone.
Enemy mark.
Okay. Spotting them out. Yeah,
I think they
good
only
job.
spotted out Leviathan. I don't think they spotted out the other 3.
No. But it's enough. It's enough to know, like, probably we don't see anything else across any other parts of the map. They could be on A, but they're still poking around this?
Flash! Oh my gosh! Regardless! Sushi Boys falls! Leviathan falls! The exploding on the
player
side is just too much! Killua with 3 in the bag even! Leaves alert all on his own, and whatever setup they had, completely gone.
They checked everything. And once again, the strength of the ISO is displaying itself right now. I mean, against the pistols, it just works so well because that double tap shield really allows you to tank some hits. Allows you to check corners, face check corners as well.
Gun here.
I don't know what Alert's gonna be able to do.
Put on the spike, I suppose. Don't allow himself to be an alt orb also. Could be the move. Honestly, I was so sure they would at least get 1, 2 picks somehow. But for some reason, MiTH, the way that MiTH explodes onto the site is just so sudden, so quick, it's so hard to play against.
And that's why you can tell this is a very experienced team with experienced players. And that's why both of them know each other so darn well as well. I mean, you might have some of the new players from Full Sense right now.
Yeah.
But when it comes to how they will actually perform against each other, some of the same old setups, the same old tendencies are still there. Because Coach Leaf, who is the coach for MiTH, and Coach CPBK for Full Sense, like it's like that mind game between these two guys.
Move.
Just saying that Thai Valorant is a different beast, and you were telling me that this game, especially this map, has been about outplays. I'm seeing it now. Smoking off market already. Kadoom just quickly trying to slide off roof. And on top of that, you also have that Ryoki Tenkai set up here. Kill contract. Fortunately for Kadoom, they're gonna go down. Was not aware that alert is already on the site itself. What's happening inside of that Ryoki Tenkai? Was it Kadoom that fell?
I think it didn't connect.
Ah, okay. That was so
Camera
quick. I
taken
couldn't see
out.
what's happening.
So, being able to side with the Doom now.
Flashbang.
Going for the flash. Moves out the way as well. That DK. Not gonna do him any favors, and he's wise to that. Gonna wait to play with his teammates instead.
Yeah, and I love how MiTH is just kind of holding their position as well.
High-low!
Spike down mid.
Setup is good for full sense. Quick to play off the information they
player
have.
standing.
Killua, sharp, but full sense. Trade potential, incredible. Now last left to play a 1-on-4.
30 seconds
Ouch.
left.
Yeah, I don't think that was meant to happen that way. You know, they still had Laz. So weird to say Laz, man.
Dude, I was like having last flashbacks from Zeta.
He's retired now.
10
but this
seconds
Laz,
left.
he was inside of B main, and there was an opportunity for MiTH to kind of cut noise and find another way back into the B site. But because Full Sense had the awareness to go with that high-low
Scanning
setup
ahead.
just to hold the angle towards A short, they were able to turn all of that around. So credit again, Full Sense, great awareness, being able to pull off that play. But let's see how MiTH adjusts back into the attack once more. I mean, we need to see Kadum. He's been a very crucial point for MiTH to be able to find their way into the site. Apart from Kadum, though, it's also just Killua with his double tap or his Ryoiki Tenkai, his domain expansion, the kill contract, being able to remove the players at will.
A one-way setup this time. It's not really a big change or anything from Full Sense. It's just more of like the push-pull, as you mentioned earlier. You know, one side going a little bit aggressive, one side going a little bit more passive. Saw a peek as well from Alert just to see if anyone were to push on B, but I think it's just gonna be a mid-side exploration.
Use that ledge to try to check. Oh no, not quite. He's gonna face check it. Hold the ankle at the very least.
Deploying
He'd be
drone.
nervous, honestly. Oh, there we go. Straight into two players. I think he's happy he used his drone instead of his face.
Very much so.
Potter's positioning has not been known quite yet.
Right
They're
here.
removing a lot of MiTH's utility, denying information. So MiTH, at the very least, they know that there could be a player out with mid, possibly to a control as well. How do we challenge it?
There's the stun and the suppression as well, so Killua will try to challenge. The fragment did buy some time, but Full Sense are happy to play a little bit more back. Don't have to challenge head on, but look at where Kadum is so far back here.
30 seconds left.
Third. Potter, unfortunately, will go down. Kadum. Terrifying piece on that jet. All eyes on to B side here. Alert. Unfortunately, isn't able to spread down the side alongside John Olsen. They also
10
have the neural
seconds
theft
left.
online. Killua by Leviathan. And it's like dominoes. Full Sense. Unfortunately, not able to play off each other.
Just beautiful. I mean, first of all, the tracking from Kadum, very lovely. But also the layers to how they have these set plans. Like you mentioned, the push and pull. This time it was more of a push. I
Push,
guess.
push.
Because you have Killua, who's already such an insanely sharp fragger on the ISO. If he pushes into tree and gets a kill with the shield, perfect. If not, like, it's okay. And Full Sense is starting to respect that. That's why they pulled away from him. But they were still kind of keeping themselves around tree. And because they were positioned there, Kadum was able to sneak so far deep down to, you know, bottom mid into fountain and stuff. And that's how Full Sense kind of lost that round. So layers on top of layers, they got like this plan B, plan C to their set plays MiTH. We'll see if they can replicate that in this next round. This time Full Sense pushes out mid.
Oh man, look at that. As soon as one person goes gets tagged, but Alert and Leviathan, headshots abound as well. Only losing Potter for that. Vantage full in Full Sense's hands, but you have players like Sephiroth, like Laz, who are sharp as heck. You have CGRS as well. Easily equalize this. Here, the door closing as well, I believe, on A.
Yeah, but still, health not on their side.
Why the cage triggered?
John Olsen has the cameras and the cages. Look at the back as well.
Wait, Alert might be able to get this. Paranoia out the way. John Olsen
30
waiting behind his
seconds
cage. He's set up
One
perfectly
enemy
for him, but
remaining.
Leviathan is all alone here. Perfect Perfectly played, full sense. Good adjustment.
Yeah, taking the initiative to mid by pushing down mid, or pushing up mid, I should say, because they were the ones coming in from the defensive side. That really kind of wrecked MiTH's game plan, you know? And that's the thing about these two teams, is always needing to adjust on the fly sometimes, and sometimes players like
this is a nice
Kadum or
spot.
whoever might not anticipate such plays, and then they get tossed out. So
That goes there.
full sense, good job, but again, they need 3 more rounds to equalize the score. Oh,
Oh man, angle play to perfection, and Potter is gonna be happy to take out Killua. He's been such a big impact for the team, so a little less firepower to deal with.
it's like they both have the same idea, Ash. Previously, like past 2-3
Cover
rounds,
going
it's been mid plays on top of mid plays. Suddenly, MiTH is like, okay, I've had enough of that. I want to go into A. Full sense reads that.
They're so in sync with each other.
So good little check, and they took down Killua, who has been a pivotal player. MiTH now needing to readjust.
Kadum.
Go, go.
Light swing, but Potter, wise, moves out the way. A flash as well, dodged. Sushi boys will go down here. CGRS as well. Now for Lich. He's holding.
No more
He
secrets.
sprays.
My ult
Not
is
aware
ready.
there is Sephiroth close by. He's not careful. He's gonna get caught. Backstabbed even. Notes his position. Beautifully done. These repositions
30
upon
seconds
repositions
left.
from both teams. Hard to just outread each
Last
other.
player
Reminds it onto
standing.
Kadum, done also
One
for
enemy
heaven.
remaining.
Catches the boss guard, but it's
Spike down
Sephiroth that's sharpest in this duel.
Sephiroth,
shadows
he's
still
got the the really long katana from Final Fantasy VII now.
There's a. Were you trying to sing that?
What? No, not the one-winged angel song. But if you look at this round, you might think, like, it's a 5v4. Killua was down. This should have been full senseless round. But when you got players like Kadum, and all he needs is a single sliver, he goes in for that, like, pre-fire check into the angle from line. Full Sense did not expect it, and that's how they really took apart the site. It came down to one-on-one, and MiTH were still sharp enough to turn things around. So, very close to map point now. Full Sense, their pockets are empty.
Yeah. And I think the most heartbreaking thing about
Jump over
this is
there.
just how I was talking about, you know, their performance, Full Sense's performance, Potter on this Neon, how phenomenal he was against Sol. And I think that for MiTH, they've really managed to outread him and just shut him down. He's not able to take up as much space as he was doing before.
Yeah, it's been kind of tricky. You gotta think about how this composition works for Full Sense and the retakes as well. MiTH, you know, with every bit of space that they get, they've been able to push in so effectively. Now, double tap again, smokes out.
Standing
Now they're
ahead.
looking to challenge Sean Olsen.
Shock darts as well. Hunter's Fury to buy some time. He manages to dodge that. Still,
Oh!
Oh, Lord,
30
that's two
seconds left.
even. That's two of the biggest heavy hitters down already. Playing on dice here, but CGRS a bit sharper on the side already with the plants. One side has the cage.
Spike planted.
One side the smokes. She hops up a gun.
Last player
Hard to
standing.
get headshots here. Leviathan. It's 2-on-1. Sorry, 3, excuse me. But with only a sharp in hand, he has to be precise, and with these paper-thin walls, it's hard. Recons. 1, 2, 3, swing, perhaps. He's trying to play with that pressure. He wants to go for the peak. But unfortunately for him, CGRS was ready for him.
And that's gonna be now map
Match point.
for MiTH. Just again, not having the money in that round really hurt them. I mean, great job from Alert with the timing on that Hunter's Fury though. And
There was 2 in that lane.
yeah, Killua was still able to dodge like one of those, and like the whole team being able to push off of it. CGR still able to frag out off of these little plays. It's just so insane how MiTH is able to adjust to every single one of these tiny little mishaps that they might have. So now Potter in with the operator. I don't know how much value he's going to be able to find off of it though.
No one's speaking mid. See the pings toward B main. So it's gonna be the two players I have to worry about right now. It's gonna be John Olsen and Alert Aldrone. They break it.
Looks it off.
Here.
Forces Alert to spend the drone as well. Let's get we're back into John Olsen duels.
Here.
You got the ultimates on MiTH side, and that's kind of what I'm wondering about. If they're going to be able to use that to close out the round. I mean, Killua has
What?
his kill
4
contract now.
ults? Oh my god.
But Killua's ult is one of the biggest.
Scatter.
From the shadows.
Whoa.
Check out. Oh, that's a lot of information gathered already. Ping that. They know there's already how many people onto that B area. Smoke's already dissipating. You see the dash already activated on the side. Hunter's Fury as well. Trying to clear out both sides, and John also flashed out his position. Alert as well. Knives abound. Sushi Boys, if I could do at the very least. Plays off the corner here. Unfortunately, actually, no, fortunately, still finds Killua in the cage. Sephiroth close. Sushi Boys, he looks sharp as heck. Have overdrive as well into Potter's hands. CGR's in the corner. They flash it. They spray it. Overdrive abound, and Sushi Boys, they keep the team in the game.
Sushi Boys! That is awesome! And so unfortunate for Sephiroth. I don't know if you caught that, Tash, but
The gun barrel.
it was his head! He was inside his own dark cover, his own omen smoke.
Oh yeah, it was his head.
But because he tossed out a second smoke, the player, the character animation tossed his head forward. And that's how he got revealed inside. Sushi Boys just reacted off of it. I mean, the sheer killer instinct on this guy to just flick on towards targets like that. That is amazing. So, Coach CBBK now calling the timeout because he sees an opportunity for Full Sense to push this into overtime.
Yeah, there's a lot he has to say actually. But honestly, coming back to about Sushi Boys here, and I don't know, I'm not sure about it, but honestly, when Sushi Boys is online, he's really online. There are so many times that he's managed to clutch, there's so many times he's able to get these multi-frags. His positioning just now was a positioning that I was very concerned for, because it's out there in the open, it leaves him very vulnerable. But his teammates provided him enough distraction to leave him able to just walk entirely in front and just get those shots.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, really good stuff from Full Sense. Just being able to provide that fire support, playing off the utilities and everything as well. But for MiTH, like Killua just died so unfortunately early. Not able to use that ult. Maybe he can save it up for this round and use it somehow. Like you mentioned, Tash, timeouts, a little bit of a double-edged sword.
It is a double-edged sword. And surprisingly, they had, what, 4 ultimates earlier? They had used 3 on the side of MiTH. The 0 point will note their positions here. But Potter has placed himself on B main, up in hand. So that's also something to talk about as well.
He doesn't see anything yet. At the very least, just locking down that position. What I'm more curious about is how Full Sense will move around this A site, especially given how they've smoked off A main already. MiTH trying to make use of these smokes to extend their legs throughout mid more. There's no one around mid, so this could be a gap that they can use to push in towards B or something like that. The trip, though.
Trip could be massive.
Oh.
You can hear John Olsen's footsteps as well. It's getting a bit antsy, I feel, because of the pacing of the game now. I don't think he's going to be able to react, but at least it's some information loaded. Oh my gosh. Yep, tripwire broken already. He retreats. Nice. Honestly, with Potter coming watching in B main, what the heck happened there? He was holding that, but it's MiTH on top. All of them falling here. The Sushi Boys, he's not done quite yet.
Spike planted.
Sephiroth, knocked down.
No way.
Still a lot of work to work with. 4 people to worry about here. Killua holding a bit close. Yeah, he can. He's here.
Turn it into a 1v1.
Do it. Do it, Killua.
And then it's a 3v1 for his teammates.
No, the fight that going down. Killua. No.
Oh, no!
Sushi Boys as he catches him. Back to the reset. This time around, Sushi Boy still wins.
But they have his position.
They know where he is. And
They knifed him.
Kadoom, not like this. What a way to...
How they're kind of working around this.
I mean, the capability of the deck, though, right? You're able to reuse your flash. You're able to reuse your your Dizzy and your wingman, even the Thresh. So if you're able to take up that space and hold on to it, you're able to get your utility back.
Yeah, and for a player like Killua, like who would you would want him to be more aggressive. I can see why he's gonna be
Revealing area.
able to refresh his utilities and try to fight for more space. Meanwhile, CGR is playing further back, gather info, things like that. So right now, already presence made known towards the B site. I feel like MiTH are anticipating some kind of an execute or a dash in towards the back of the site, but nothing happening yet.
No more charges left.
Meanwhile, John Olsen just hanging around mid here. And I think it's huge that he's playing around there because most players or teams would just rotate toward that that rope area and you just get your head smashed out. But Alert's head, excuse me, Alert has placed himself on A main. I think we saw Cam just now.
Take flight. Enemy tag.
There it is.
That's it.
It does tag him up, but otherwise everything gone off.
Oh, here's
Still
Laz.
collapsing
Why
the
destroyed?
this B site.
Unfortunately for Laz, he gets tagged up already. So site open, ripe for the taking. A plant to come through as well as Potter moves out the way. This time around, Potter is on that jet, as we mentioned before, so I might get my wish about what I want to see. They tried to make an
My
attempt
eyes
to the
are
camera,
down.
finally get it in the end. Just playing off that other side. Honestly, I'm surprised I'm not seeing a breach here.
Yeah, but we do have the Gecko, like we
We
mentioned.
do. Wall bang onto Potter, down and out. Nice little one way as well. Playing inside of the smoke, and Kadum catches everyone off guard. Perfectly played to just choke them in the tiny corner of B.
And this is the patch with the Gecko slight changes as well. I mean, it's a very small change, but it's one thing to keep in mind because Dizzy's Dizzy's flash, it gets sent out a lot quicker than before, and that's something that you can really feel the effects of with Killua getting those 2 assists back there.
Oh yeah. That's so perfectly done as well. I think it's more of
Should we
like
just
how...
call it Goop from now on?
Yeah, let's call them the goops.
Just the Goops.
Right
We got
there.
Soups and we got Goops.
Goops. We got the moosh.
The Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Wait, what?
The
What's the
whoosh.
Whoosh?
The mosh pit.
Oh,
Oh, the goops is the mosh. Never mind. Didn't catch it till later.
no, the Goops is the Flash, but okay.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Here's Sephiroth. This is a faster approach onto the side here from Full Sense, but Sephiroth has kept his position very
Spike
much
down,
hidden.
B.
Kadum for 2. Last
enemy
pops
remaining.
one hit. Sushi Boys fights 1. It's all about finding the last member, John Olsen. He managed to skirt his way away. One more time. There we go. Down you go.
Dude.
Flawless round from it. That was terrifying stuff, honestly.
If I'm not wrong, it was a flawless like
Pistol?
anti-eco round from MiTH in the first map as well.
Oh
like, round
yes,
2.
you were right. Yeah.
And that's happening again. Kadum continuing off with his streak. He had that little like jumping peak with the Outlaw back there up against John Olsen. So very lovely stuff with how they're able to put up this huge roadblock on B site against Full Sense. Full Sense now trying to change their game plan around it. They have the full buys. Let's go into A.
Revealing area.
The recon and for CGRS. Okay to play behind that. Attempts to wallbang. Potter did take a tiny bit of damage.
Very tiny.
Yeah. Sephiroth on danger. Not sure if Alert is aware. I don't think he is. So he's trying to go for that orb he can, but
Deploying drone.
gotta give it to him to check first. I don't think he's gonna find Sephiroth in his corner.
Not unless he challenges this little ledge area, but the main thing about Sephiroth is he's the Astra, he's got his stars and he needs to make use of them, so he can't really challenge a lot of these angles open-handedly. He's gotta stay tucked away, and he's trying to use this as a trap to spring against Full Sense. Meanwhile, Laz is the one that we want to keep our eyes on because he has that Vandal and he has a lot of
Cage
vision
triggered.
into B site.
You know where he's already knife about, presence detected, and he puts in that pressure. But Sushi was what a shot onto
30
Laz!
seconds left.
Sephiroth from the smokes, he shoots, he scores, Alert
Spike
finds him in the
down,
end, but the
B.
damage is done. The rotations, John Olsen, it's your job here. Good for 1, not enough for 2. Falls to Killua.
Spike
so
planted.
much sound, so much noise, but it's still a 2-on-2. Potter's positioned himself so far back. He's trying to go for a wraparound here.
Killua has a full kit as well. Okay, Potter.
Alert's waiting. It's planted for them. Don't think they have their eyes toward heaven.
Oh no, they're not gonna expect Potter.
They are definitely not.
One enemy remaining.
Tap from Alert, a recon forward, Killua from the backside, but Alert didn't need his help all along.
Well played, and a little bit of football because Tash said he shoots, he scores.
Yeah,
That was nice. I liked it.
I wasn't watching any football, but there's a lot of football talk recently. But back to this game instead. This positioning of danger, right? You put the plant there. It's hard to really dodge shots. You really have to take those fights, and a lot more space given for Alert as well. So the problem was MiTH should have just peeked together, but they still might have fell into Potter. But who knows?
I think they were still positioned around it, but because Alert was able to go in for that really quick strafe shot, you know, it's very tough to react off of it. So MiTH now in with the full bias. We got Kadum in with the operator. He's locking down mid off of it. More importantly, Sephiroth, you know, he was the one with the 1v2 Spectre on the previous round. Let's see what he can do with his stars now that he's positioned towards this A site.
Moves away. I already know that there's gonna be a few people there, but this is what I like about MiTH is that they're so unbothered by this early info. They're not gonna be baited into the rotation.
They just want to know where their opponents are heading towards.
Caution
A
here.
lot of the early phases of the round are centered around the Sova players. So Alert now, having spent his Eldrone as well, he forced Laz to reposition. This one very tiny reposition, Laz onto the off angle, it could very well allow full sense into the shield. And especially
30
if you're
seconds
on the
left.
mini-map, John Olsen.
Laz? Oh, that's perfect. Laz actually skirted away from the knife this time, and it paid dividends. John also defies CGRS in the end, but Killua well aware. And the sprays, unfortunately this time around, Killua is just sharper. Laz is so low. Alert takes advantage
10
of that.
seconds
They get the plant. Just 10 seconds to go. But their positioning on this end did not end well last time. This time around, they go for a position. But Sephiroth catches Leviathan off guard. And Alert left to fend for himself in a 1v2. Coming in from both ends, he needs to try and isolate. Where to go, playing a little bit more safe here. Not sure if he noted the position of Kadum. Yes, he does. Eyes up on heaven. Your position is not good,
my God.
unfortunately, but Kadum, what is that reaction time?
Yeah, that was one hell of a flick. No, not Sephiroth, but had Alert actually landed that initial
Headshot, yeah.
Yeah, this could have been a 1v1, but then
It's good.
Kadum, just insane. It's 3-1 because of this. And once more, you are seeing how, like, Full Sense has a very clear plan in mind in John Olsen trying to lurk and play around it like that,
enemy
but
remaining.
he's getting, you know, discouraged, and at the same time, Laz being able to receive Full Sense with that initial kill. I thought maybe he leaves it open. That could have hurt MiTH a lot more. But because he plays around his very specific Cyber Cage setup, he's able to steal like 1 or 2 kills away before his team sets up that retake. So very lovely stuff. And Kadum back in with the operator.
The buzz spot, excuse me. The Aldrone does not deter,
it's an
but
outlaw.
Leviathan
Standing ahead.
answers. Headshots back. CGRS on the back end. Paranoid out, forced to give away or leave his position.
I know
on the site here.
exactly where you are.
They're all daft, just easily
Spike
tell them where
planted.
exactly everyone is as well, but Aldrone
Enemy
should
mark.
give them some info. Notes where John
Right
Olsen
here.
is, notes where Potter is.
Okay. So Potter was on the flank before. This time Leviathan tries to do the same thing with the Sheriff.
Just Fury, Dizzy up as well. They break it. Hasn't moved out of the way. Kill up on the top side. Gonna quickly find Potter. Eliminates him. Sephiroth. Quick shot to the head. Has the divide just to keep it alive. Alert Leviathan 1 each. But they're still defusing. They need to push up forward. But fortunately for them, CGRS was ready for him.
4-1. Tash.
If we go
CGRS,
easy on
I mean,
them,
hearing those
they will
footsteps
never
from
learn.
behind, being able to react so quickly and kind. But this is very lovely stuff. I mean, you can see what this composition does now. Very interesting. You got the Cosmic Divide, the Astral Wall, to protect Wingman. To defuse that spike.
Gotta protect Aziz at all costs, man.
That's actually really awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good thing because when you have the wingman to go for that refuse as well, it gives a lot more, you know, guidance to do what it's supposed to do, shoot.
Precisely. So next round now, Full Sense really scratching their heads. They've been able to get into sites like B so far, but not quite able to hold it off successfully again and again. The only round they were able to do that was when they were able to put Potter in for that flank, but this time it's not quite happening. So back in to explore this A site. But Sephiroth switches up his positioning once again, and he's got this global presence with the stars. Smokes it off.
Flash up already in the site. Potter took so much space, but it doesn't matter once I was watching. Find Sushi Boys, alert, quickly find Sephiroth back, so to the mid side they go. Sushi Boys back in the game. CGRS to find John Alston, last to find alert.
Spike down A.
Lots of damage done to Full Sense already. It was a good start for them, but despite that, they weren't able to hold on.
Now we just play the retakes game. Got numbers.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Up here in the corner, dwindled to 26. Already sending out Wingman. Sushi Boys. Trying to see how far he can go to top side here. Already try and force the plant. 16 seconds to go. The 3-man swing. Can't get away from that.
Still gotta love his mechanical skill, like even just shooting down the neck. But then, MiTH, you really have to admire the amount of prep and homework that they've done for this specific matchup. The way that they've prepared so much on these maps and the set place that they have, the layers to it. A lot of it comes down to Sephiroth, I think, because while you have players like, you know, Kadoom or even CGRS taking down John Olsen, Sephiroth, with the way he plays around his stars, he sneaks inside. Potter goes down, but he's able to sneak a kill against Sushi Boys and just pull a bit of attention away from his teammates. Next round now,
Forward.
pop flash out. Killua has the thrash.
Could be devastating if they don't.
Take flight.
They get caught by that thrash. Recon's up, breaks the owl drone, but it's still enough information here. Oh, alert, what a shot to the head onto CGRS. A flash from Dizzy. Over to the side. Buy some time with the top burst, but the sprays are good. Alert. Very sharp this particular round. 2 already. Bully Sheriff in hand. An upgrade abound. Play a little bit more safe here. Out of the way for Kadoom and alert!
Last player
Quick
standing.
to take him down here. Sushi Boys as well, to Laz. And Sephiroth left alone. Phyton holding this corner. All eyes onto this area. Nice cross done already. Sushi Boys, 1, 2, 3, swing. This is the round that Full Sense wins? What? A
Very strong
thrifty.
thrifty. The sharpshooting that they have, the way that they flooded the site together, very good stuff. But the thing that kind of hurt me the most was I felt as though Killua got a little bit too greedy back there. You know, he had the thrash, he had the positioning to possibly play a little bit more patiently to work alongside his teammates, but instead he peeked out.
Yeah.
He peeked out towards the other side of A, and that's where he got struck down because there were too many targets for him to take down. One crouched down in front of him. So that's the difference there. Next round now. Full Sense trying to push in a little bit quicker, but MiTH playing out a lot of mid already.
Potter already on the middle of the site here. Narrowly just missing that gravity well. Now, that picks up forward. This time around, they're trying to go a little bit more aggressive. Taking quite a bit of damage from the Hunter's Fury as well. Potter to find Laz. Kadoom answers back. Sushi Boys falls. Now here comes the thrash. Potter staying out of sight, out of the way, and he get caught. His teammates are there at the very least. Not anymore. But now everyone's playing from main here. Mosh pit utilized just to give them that space, buy some time. sending little bro to go for that defuse. Leviathan finds Killua, and here for Sephiroth as well. Forced to move out the way here. Kadum will be using his body this time for the defuse, and they spray. They get him. They find Sephiroth in the corner. John Olsen. Unfortunately, it will be juked from the side from CGRS.
There's just enough time.
Just enough time. Oh, point
Dude!
10! Is it giving you flashbacks yet, Quack?
My queen is
Different map, different map.
Different map,
But
different
yo,
team, different game, but wow!
0.1 second, and you know this. It's just so insane, okay? Like Sephiroth being able to pull off that movement play, hopping over the ledge just to catch 2 players from Full Sense. They did not expect a play like that at all. Like, who would... First of all, it's not easy to make that long jump, okay? You gotta air strafe, and you gotta create enough velocity for you to actually catch your speed mid-air. Apart from that, like, who's gonna do that in a retake scenario?
So real.
You
I
would
was
usually
not expecting
push
it
up...
there.
Exactly! But he landed the jump, and he got the kills. And they weren't expecting him from that angle whatsoever. That's like next level plays from players like Sephiroth on MiTH. CBBK is just like really giving them an earful right now. Like, it's 2-6, we're a big org, you gotta figure something out. Like, this might be MiTH's map pick, but it's not working out too great.
Yeah, I mean, coming up as well, I mean, these are all just, you know, mechanical stuff like you mentioned, right? Learning how to jump, learning the lineups. And the thing is, you would expect a Jet to do that. You would expect a Raze to do that. You would expect an Omen to do that even. But when I saw Sephiroth do that, I was very confused. I was like, why are you in that corner, Sephiroth? Get out
Like,
of my
I
way.
knew he could do it, but I was like, are you really gonna do it? And he did? No way. Another thing is also just MiTH having the awareness to really eliminate a lot of these lurks that John Olsen has been trying to pull off, but now Full Sense are re-exploring this middle position. Laz is ready.
Oh, but he received a knife in the head instead. Saw the cloud burst. Garas very patient here to dash forward and alert. Who will be the one to take him down?
Plant the
On the
spike.
side already. They completely flood. This mid-era take looks good for them. Now John Olsen positioned himself all the way in the
I
back.
know
Pays
exactly.
dividends, Guardian, as well as neural theft used. They know where exactly everyone is, and Leviathan, he could be able to get the timing right here as they push it toward mid. And they've crunched him from 2 different areas this Sephiroth. The crouch threw off the crosshair. Leviathan not be able to capitalize there. I think the call is to save here.
Yeah, 2-on-4, you don't really have a good chance. Plus, like, the spike's already planted, the site's already all set up, so don't want to challenge that. But otherwise, this is a good little timeout from Full Sense. They're taking advantage over, you know, a position at the map that is somewhat already neglected by MiTH, and at the same time, utilizing the movement speed from Potter and his knives. So it's a play that MiTH did not quite expect, and CGRS, you know, had a tough time trying to track his crosshair across that with too many players in front of him, especially up around Library. So great play from Full Sense, being able to kind of pull themselves back in the game. MiTH tried to play it a lot safer after the timeout, and it didn't quite pay off. But let's see how they get to play the last 3 rounds of this first half. MiTH, they are still very much in the lead. They don't quite have the guns, and this is what Full Sense is trying to make use of to get more wins into this second half.
But despite the no guns, we've seen so many rounds where classics are deadly. Sheriffs especially, MiTH taking a more proactive stance, aggressive even. Pushing out B main. Finds nothing, so decides to pull back as well. So I think Full Sense was sort of anticipating that.
At the same time, though, pulling back from it and then re-aggressing. Smart
John Olsen
positioning
knows.
overall. Yeah, John Olsen's just lurking still, but main thing is Full Sense's main forces are re-aggressing into the B side, and MiTH are just working the team.
Sushi Boys, quick to answer back onto Sephiroth here. See the dash already activated, and here comes the Hunter's Fury just to clear off a portion of that site. Tags onto 1, Potter for 2 before John Olsen goes down to Laz. Still, man advantage for Full Sense. A good round even. You have the neural theft activated as well. To really put everyone, just scramble everyone off that site. Slaz coming in from heaven. Trying to see if there's any tiny little micropixel he can take out here. Cage, shock darts both used already.
Cage
They're
triggered.
being very patient. Now they get a tap. Pushes up here. A flash as well. Shock darts forward here. They get one. Jars for one. Potter and Alert to swing out together. And Full Sense are just taking this round by round.
Yeah, great swings out from Full Sense, anticipating some of the stacks or the potential ultimate plays from MiTH, and then reaggressing into the B side, right? That was the main factor that allowed them to get the spike down, but off of it at the same time, just the way that they had themselves positioned post-plant, you know, all towards the back of B and avoiding that Hunter's Fury completely from CGRS, or not challenging CGRS once he picked up the other Vandal. So Full Sense sticking to their leads and not letting them go. Now we got a bit of a buy back in from MiTH. See how the rest of the half goes. Sushi Boys has the
Right here.
null command, so be able to react off that very strong as well.
On the side already, Killua waiting in the smokes, just the right time to strike. Plant should be there to spray a little bit, but it's not enough to stop them from actually taking that plant. Now Potter on the back side here, isolating one area. Just goes down. Unfortunately for him, Kadum is there, but Leviathan answers. Killua left with only 5 HP left. On top of that, you have a null command online, no utility to play with. You hear the jump peaks, the smoke's already set up as well. Still gonna push. Here, fragment just to buy some time as well. Time ticking. MiTH calling one more time. Call the save. Good one here, Laz. Quickly gonna find Alert, and there goes the round. Full Sense again. Another round to their name, and they are catching up.
Not much else they can do. Potter going in with that Cloud Burst to push up further back. Like,
Last
that's
round in the half.
not expected whatsoever, especially up towards A-Link. Killua, you know, being able to air strafe around that a little bit, but he still took so much damage. Nonetheless, it still is Full Sense, just being a lot more decisive as to how they want to hit the sites, and MiTH not quite able to, or not having the firepower to withstand a lot of these pushes now. So, a game of attrition, and Full Sense is winning out in it. And you're not seeing a lot of value out of the Cosmic Divide as well right now, so very different
Here.
different successes as compared to the earlier parts of the half. Now back to more default. Full Sense.
Cage triggered.
Don't spot anything too early on. And we're back into John Olsen lurking with the rest of the team trying to push and pull across.
I'm surprised that these two have not met each other on mid yet. It's always just been passing each other. They know they're around, but I don't think they've actually seen each other quite yet. John Olsen's eyes toward this area. Oh, that's timing.
It's okay. A bit of a fake.
And already in Potter. Ooh, you really gotta give it to Laz. He's so quick to react to any info, any noise of utility. From the shadows used. Oh, Sephiroth and Sushi Boys probably had a heart attack to each other there. Both jumping out the way. Nice dodge. Leviathan if I could do Laz. And if I Leviathan CGRs
Strike
as well.
down A. 30
Actually
seconds
not noted
left.
yet. John Olsen. Good for one. Set up his traps. Does he know
I have
that
retrieved the
we
spike.
have a Sephiroth very, very close is the question. Here we go. The Cosmic Divide there. Moves out the way. Thankfully, it saves his life. Used against him. 13 seconds to go. Time not on his
Last
side here.
player
He has to
standing.
force his
10
Killua
seconds
falls.
left.
Sorry, Killua for 2. How is he doing this? Oh my god. From mid all the way to A?
Switching sides.
That Gecko again. The busy utility.
To buy some time. And that's the beauty of it. Sometimes you don't really need to shoot.
He's a very patient player, very good spatial awareness with how he wants to work around the map. But how does that work on the attacking side now? We'll take a look.
Take flight.
Wow, Aldro camera all set up already. John Olsen gonna break that. So the positioning of him has been, John Olsen, excuse me, has been notified. But now whether or not MiTH actually wants to commit is the question.
Potter up towards the back side are danger as well.
Oh, there we go. Potter. No one already playing with that cage. Oh, this utility dump is a lot. Moves out the way. John Olsen quickly eliminates Killua
Spike
here.
planted.
The plant not able to be prevented. Jaras walks up here, plays very well with that splash.
Last
Actually, with
player
his splash.
standing.
Quickly, John Olsen to fall as well. Set front for 2. He's sharp. Steps out of the way. The Paranya still gets him in the end. And unfortunately, that one small step away is the round not falling in their favor. And for now, Full Sense get their first pistol.
It's one of those things, Tash. Would you rather step even further away and then somehow unluckily fall off the map?
Oh yeah,
or would
there's
you rather
nowhere to
stand
go.
there and get hit by the... yeah,
Get
it's very
hit by
unfortunate.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I think I would fall off the map, so then
I would
your
fall off
opponent,
the map. Yeah.
your opponent doesn't get the alt point. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's I wouldn't put it that way. I think I want
I
to
know.
die on my own terms.
Either way, I think it was just a really tough spot for that player to be in. But
Yeah.
then, it's the slight differences. That Gecko, the Dizzy was meant to kind of blind Potter, but it didn't really work out that way. So a little bit unfortunate for me.
Sana,
But
sana.
let's see how they utilize it for the rest of the pack. Refreshing flash, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of pressure as well set up by Full Sense onto that A main area. And now the whole Kadum onto mid, gonna take out Sushi Boys in a blink of an eye, but Runderson with only 22 HP left.
Good damage taken as well, but at least now they know possibly that
My camera is
Sova is
destroyed.
up
Here.
as well. Okay. Tucked behind cover, they still tagged Leviathan down. A lot of presence known towards the A site now, so they're thinking there are less players towards B, and that's where we want to head towards.
But there's still traps abound. John Olsen, honestly, he has been phenomenal that previous pistol as well. You saw the shots happen, you saw the cam already as well, and immediately the cage will go up.
Right here.
But it's all about being patient. They tagged it. I think they are going to call for that spike to go there. It's just about trying to figure out where exactly the other members are.
30
They set up the
seconds
stars
left.
already as well. 30 seconds to go. They need to get on the site now.
Yeah, they must have been waiting for a bit of utility to refresh up before they really push into the sites deeply. But otherwise, yes, timing is of the essence. So Dizzy's out, but here comes Donald.
In the corner there, but Killua,
10 seconds
they
left.
tag team with his
Spike
teammates.
planted.
They get the spike down. In Full Sense, forced to play a retake with only 3 members left. Yes, they have the better guns here, but the essence of surprise is what gave MiTH a little bit of an advantage earlier.
Killua.
Spike him. Yeah. The smokes again. Killua there from the corner,
Yikes,
goes
here.
down. Potter sharp onto Kadum. It's all about finding Laz here. It's all about finding Sephiroth.
enemy
Who
remaining.
peeks, he goes down, and so does Laz.
Gun
In
here.
Full Sense, they bring 3 guns forward.
The Outlaw. Single shot. And that's all it takes. Full Sense, I mean, yeah, this was pretty much firepower back
Gun
there.
here.
But otherwise, MiTH, pretty good game plan into how they wanted to get that spike down. So, I mean, taking down John Olsen like that is not a simple feat.
One enemy remains.
But having the, I guess the idea is to really swarm the site that way. That many classics still able to take John Olsen down. It was very lovely. So down to the next round now, and Full
Here.
Sense doesn't quite have enough guns. This could be where MiTH finds their momentum.
I wouldn't be surprised if it did. All eyes on A main, and look at how much space Kadum has taken onto the mid area. He was trying to find out where John Olsen was, hopefully get a pick up there. Excuse me, it was Potter was trying to find whether Laz or anyone else was waiting there, but they didn't find anyone here. But it's good Kadum with the opening, Leviathan down already. Quick onto the side here, Potter answers. Now despite that Dizzy, they buy some time, they move out the way. Smoked out already here, and Potter's gonna push his way through the vents one
Spike
more time.
planted.
They get the spike down. Very patient right now. Waiting for the smokes to quickly dissipate, but Killua has really positioned himself as in a more aggressive area. Cloud burst forward as well. A flash. He moves out the way, dodges it even. But Sushi Boys, what a shot to the head. You know there's someone on Heaven. Alert has to move back here. It is set up for him. CGRS barely. The shot just whiffs away from his head.
Enemy down.
Oh,
Shot onto Potter. They hurt the tap here.
One enemy
Shotguns
remaining.
as well. Laz and the other members just fall one by one. John Olsen, what can you do? Nothing is the answer. As MiTH take the round 8-7.
If you're
beautiful
not a good
post
shot
plant
today,
being played by
don't
MiTH
worry.
back there.
There are
Again,
other ways to be used.
they are able to find these little hits thanks to Kadoom with the entries. Even though he might be the first one to die or anything, they get enough space to get the spike down. And that's all MiTH are really looking for, because CGRS has the utilities to play post plant alongside his teammates and everything. At the same time, though, you gotta witness how Sushi Boys actually
Eyes up.
provides so much assistance to his team on the side of Full Sense, because that one little frag grenade managed to hold the rest of MiTH back, therefore allowing for his teammates to take down Kadoom. And then the little pop flash as well. It's very crucial for Full Sense to work around Sushi Boys a lot more in their retakes and such. But otherwise, right now, MiTH still looking
Cover
for that
going
open
out.
pick into the site.
Also, someone Heaven already, so just gonna
Shock
try
dart.
and break any trips here. A shock dart in the corner to see if anyone's there. They're pinging already just to see. I think the idea is they're gonna try and either take bridge, plant bridge perhaps. Here comes Thresh as well. Oh no, they're sending up Thresh onto the bridge. Gonna find Judd also the backside here. Kadoom quick to react. Alert for 2 even.
I know
He plays it to
exactly.
perfection. You have the neural theft online as well. You get the plant. And Killua playing inside of these utilities. They know where Alert is. And Alert, unfortunately,
enemy
will be
remaining.
noted. Tiny little angle. Not able to win that duel. Now it's down to Potter. And Potter, he doesn't want any of this. He's moving out the way.
I love that. I love that so much, Tash. Killua being able to show signs of restraint that way.
One down.
Okay, Sephiroth gonna go down.
Alright. At the very
Yeah,
least,
sure,
they know where
come down.
Potter is. I think they're really gonna hunt for him.
I think they might. I mean, it's still an op to bring
He's
forward.
1 point away from his Blade Storm.
Oh no.
I would not want to give that to him.
I mean, it's either you give him the Blade Storm or you give him the op. Which one do you want to give?
Op.
You want to give the op? Okay,
Yeah,
fair
because
enough.
op, at least he can't like
This
retake
place is
very well
nice,
with that.
but not nice enough to die.
Yeah.
Let's win and get
True
out.
though, that is a very good question. But otherwise, again,
Enemy kill.
the way that MiTH are able to
enemy
dismantle the
remaining.
site off of these little executes
One down.
with the Astra timings, Kadoom finding a lot of these first kills, but also Killua showing restraint not to over peak or overheat too much towards the back of the site. I mean, it's not needed, and that's why he plays so safely around just to eliminate Alert, who was, you know, pivotal player in taking down 2 players from MiTH in that little push.
Potter with the op this time. Really wondering what he can do with it. I think for MiTH, they're well aware that it's going to be either one of the sides or one of the areas, so they're going to make sure that if it happens to be this side, they have to do the due diligence to just move out the way.
Yeah. A site has been, you know,
Deploying
big hit
drone.
for MiTH several times in a row now. Makes sense to keep the operator here.
Oh, okay. Well, Potter's been noted, op's been noted, and MiTH says, all right, well, guess we're going somewhere else.
You want to find it.
Yes. But they're using the Cosmic Divide on the attacking side to stifle, to flush out noise. So that's very cool. Using this to
Revealing
push down
areas.
mid now, while the rest of the team sets up for the B split. Quick rotations from Full Sense though. Let's see if they can catch them.
Oh, they might here, but is Sushi
Wow!
wasn't caught, actually. Wow. It's giving, you're not stuck, I'm not stuck here with you, you're stuck here with me. Laz, up here already.
No!
Oh, first victim!
30 seconds left.
Goodbye to the fight, Kadoom here. Alert, sharp as ever, but will
player
fall
standing.
to Sephiroth,
Spike
Killua as well.
planted.
Potter once again, last man standing here. Killua, you peek. Tiny little peeks, unfortunately for Potter, not able to connect these shots. Sheriff in hand. There's a Vandal close by here. Star's already set up for him. Oh, timing. Eyes trained. Gonna move down here. Gets the tap. Sephiroth, is he looking to push here? Swaps the guns. Lots of util dumps forward.
Blocking sight.
I'm not his friend right now. Has to be something about it, but it's hard when a nice crossfire is set up by MiTH that way.
Good hit still, regardless. That was a funny little trip downtown for Laz. Very unfortunate.
Well, we're gonna have to ask production, like, is this our first casualty for for this tournament?
I don't know. But otherwise, full sense, they're being pulled around the map. MiTH in with this Cosmic Divide play. It's not just the Cosmic Divide play. What I really loved was how Sephiroth had the smoke set up, how they timed that rotation from full sense perfectly.
Oh no, Leviathan! I bet he thought he got a timing right now. Alert if I still want to answer, so 1 for 1, tit for tat. Sephiroth holding far back. John Olsen thankfully able to trade. What are these positionings this game?
I am the hunter.
Jaras with the Hunter's Fury. Sorry, Kat, go ahead.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I have the
of
spike.
course, trying to tag him with the Hunter Shuri with the Owl Drone as well. But otherwise, it's both teams having game plans to push out against each other, and that's why we have the positions at hand. But at the very least, MiTH are still more or less bunched up together, and that's what you would want to have in this situation, right? Being able to overwhelm at least one player, take down the site, and then turn things around that way. But look at Full Sense pushing out as well.
So, sharp. I think he has an idea that Jaras might be close.
Enemy
Forward,
remaining.
Jaras also falls.
Spike down B.
That gives him the neural theft. Positioning of Laz will be
30
noted.
seconds left.
Yep. Here comes his teammates as well. They're just gonna trap him on the site. And Sushi Boys from behind. Here we go, Full Sense. Gonna slowly catch up.
Gotta love these experienced players. Having the sense, the patience to really hold some of these angles. You know, their teammates, are positioned across just to eliminate further possibilities as well.
Enemy remaining.
And it just shows like his guess is right. Thinking that they could be pushing from this spot, I'm gonna watch it. He gets all those kills, even playing around the neural theft as well towards the very end of it. MiTH starting to feel the heat, having to call the timeout. Coach Leaf having some discussions in mind with the rest of them. I mean, their attacking sides have been pretty good, especially when they have these really incredible layered set plans with the Astra, but it feels as though they're starting to run out of that.
Yeah, and I really gotta give it as well. I mean, it's a good time to call for this timeout. MiTH had managed to break a 3-round streak, so if anything, they want to make sure that they can keep the momentum. They'll make sure that it doesn't keep continuing, if anything. But I'm quite surprised that it's this close, because most of the time it looks so heavily, each round feels so heavily toward MiTH side.
Yeah. It feels that way. They definitely need to chain more of that together. Potter now bringing out the big guns. We got Killua back in with Thrash. Thinking about how he can utilize that for potential future rounds.
Immediate smoke onto mid area, and gonna just utilize the Owl Drone as well. Checking if anyone's on ropes, finds nothing. So, not gonna bother contesting mid area after they hurt that drone, after they hurt that knife, and I think that's perfect. They've gotten some of the big utilities out of the way, and immediately John also answers, finds Kadum, but he gets caught. Backside of the area here at last. Still trying to find him. Surprised that John Olsen is still very much alive. Leviathan takes a shot straight to face. Flashed out here. Sushi Boys does not realize, but John Olsen! 3 already before going out to last. Battle of the Cyphers. Alert shuts it down. And now it's Sephiroth. 1 on 2. Here's the defuse. Grab well. Just waiting for the right time. They tap it one more time. Sephiroth with the swing forward. And Potter was very much ready for him.
It's such a little thing, just around the edge of the smoke. And that's the difference between MiTH finding 11 rounds and Full Sense slowly starting to equalize the score. Just incredible. I mean, it really comes down to it, and you can see wanting to force Full Sense to burn some of their utility, but at the same time, it costs some of yours as well. And because of that, you're not able to smoke off a heaven. It's
safe.
tougher for you to approach. I mean, great job by Slash getting all of those heads-up kills, but it's not quite enough. Had he gotten the fourth, it might have been a different story. Now that the river's starting to run dry, you know, you don't have a lot of guns anymore. Meanwhile, Potter's still sitting on his operator, and it's blocking off mid again and again.
Opening by Kadum. Quickly eliminating Sushi Boys. Caging up mid area as well, just to deny them a little bit more space. Can cross through if they want to. Potter hasn't moved at all. He's been holding this area for quite some time.
Yeah, it's just gonna stay here. At least locking down a lot of it. MiTH doesn't quite know that he's here yet. They might be thinking that the mid is open. That's what he's waiting for. But at the very least, Last sneaking in towards this position could allow for MiTH to set up some kind of an A split. Hopefully that's what we'll have. Potter trying to deny that too. Meanwhile, the rest of Full Sense starved for information at this moment.
It's still waiting.
Oh, they're trying to sell fake with the smokes, with the stars.
You saw one smoke got set out on B as well because of that, but
Gotcha.
Spike is
30
what a
seconds left.
shot! Alert! He had not a single
gonna fight
chance!
Spike.
Gets an upgrade. Here comes the plan as well. Potter caught off guard. The waiting game is good here. Leviathan and John Olsen forced to play a 2-on-5 retake. Whew, that's a tall ask.
This was like a semi-thrifty.
So real. It was like a mixture of guns.
Yeah. That little shot from Killua though, damn.
That caught me off guard. I was expecting like a spray or something, but straight to the head. Wall bang even.
So unlucky for Alert.
Yeah.
But that's it. Yeah, Full Sense now. Gonna have to kind of relegate the side over onto MiTH. Save their guns for a rainy day.
At least they have an op. A little consolation prize at the very least, but... Wait, John Olsen. Gonna catch anyone? Oh, they know where he is. Jump peek up. Oh, they smoked him off. Okay. Well, at least they get it forward, so not too bad here. But you know, it's just one of those things, right? You saw that Full Sense was able to break the streak. They get 2 rounds, and then I think that timeout had worked perfectly for Made in Thailand because this was the round that really kind of like solidified it.
Yes. I mean, it's tiny plays. It's a round you don't expect them to win because they don't quite have the best guns for it, but tiny little things where you know, Alert just thinking that you could position, hold that angle indefinitely, but no. Players like Killua will exploit that angle and pre-fire it just to check, and it happens to get a kill. We might think it's unlucky, but it makes a world of difference. Next round now, MiTH. Bit of a split, not forcing too much presence on mid any longer. So this calls towards a bit of more set execute towards the B site. Full Sense does have 3 players positioned around this spot though. And it all comes down to John Olsen. John Olsen again, very experienced player with his Cypher setups.
Nice cage, Aldrone. But players of Full Sense are keeping very hidden here. Drone does go down eventually. Kadum can just explode on the site and moves very swiftly with that Dizzy. Dash up forward on the very top. John Olsen gonna move out the way. With him just waiting for the right time. The cloud first goes down. It doesn't matter who picks first here. Alert's gonna find one CGRS, and Sephiroth's gonna find one each. Now for Alert. Has to wait for his teammates to come up forward. They are gonna be coming here from Heaven side. Made a lot of noise. Potter with the op. Smoked off. Has to push up.
30
Find
seconds
open area
left.
to play in. Wait for the corner. CGRS finds Sushi Boy. CGRS part 2 with the Guardian! Laz is close by.
What?
Potter,
Player
what a
standing.
flick to the head of CGRS! What? CGRS!
Match point.
We can end
CGRS.
it now. Once
And that's
more.
a big old smile on his face at the very end of that play.
Oh
4
my
kills back to back
goodness.
with a Guardian Tash.
Oh, he is a tapper for sure. That
Insane
round,
flicks from Potter, but still.
he was only managing to get 1, and I really gotta give it to CGRS. Played 1 corner, hears them coming from Heaven, quick reposition, and actually challenges the up.
I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. And that is what brings MiTH to match point now. 1 round away from ending this series. Full sense, Potter trying to take the initiative up towards mid. Doesn't see all too much just yet. MiTH
Really
are
tough.
playing very far back because of this. They want to play the safe and patient game against Full Sense.
And honestly, I mean, from anything, I think Full Sense against MiTH, these two teams have been rivals for so long. It's always been back and forth between them, but Full Sense has always had the upper hand. And this time around, this is a very, very dominant win if you think about it.
You did good.
8-13 previously, now what, 12-9. MiTH, they're feeling it. The finishing line is so close.
Yeah, they're very close to some ultimates as well. Killua, if they can pick up some alt orbs or kills, some kills along the way, this could be it. John Olsen only has a sheriff. Oh, now Kadoo.
Oh yeah!
30 seconds
Here comes
left.
the Thresh once again. They've been really feeding him that pop flash forward here. Unfortunately, they aren't able to capitalize off it. But that's by some time. Unfortunately for Laz, walks in, but CGR is quick to react off that. Just at the back alert. At least gets an answer
Spike
back.
planted.
CGR's on the side here, falls to alert as well. But Leviathan on the backside providing some support. All about that
enemy
retake,
remaining.
set breath for 1. Potter answers. Killua, the 1v3. Potter on one end, the taps are through. It's all about 1, 2, can do more, John Olsen. And this is what I want to see from Full Sense, looking a little bit more clean with their retakes. And it's the 12-10. This is closer than we all anticipated.
Incredibly
No more
close.
charges left.
But otherwise, good performances from both sides. Full Sense. Alert has been a big name in a lot of these rounds. The way that he's been taking these duels to mid. Even when his teammate falls, like Sushi Boys goes down because, you know, his position has been revealed. He's firing off of the tracers. But Alert just comes back in to find those trades with crucial timings, with crucial positions. And then he goes a little bit further, just playing so safely around the boxes on the site. CGRS was not able to take him down. So it means that he wasn't quite prepared for Alert to peek out of that corner like that. So once we see more things like that, you know, it really throws MiTH off. The timeout's being called now, and they're desperately looking for that final round to close things out.
They do not want to go into that overtime. Overtime's been that reset in mindset, reset in how they want to play, and overtime's just really, whatever lead you have, it's just meaningless once you get to that overtime. Regardless, coming into this one, I mean, every time MiTH has had that timeout, they seem to really have managed to convert it. But in this situation, you want to be able to close it quickly. What, economy-wise? Both teams look good right now. Both teams on Vandals, but you can see for Alert, half shields. For Sushi Boys, it's just a Guardian and a half. So, we do have a bit of an advantage here for MiTH, I mean.
Just a bit. Still being able to convert
Blocking
those into
sight.
wins would be the bigger thing. Alert having his Hunter's up from those previous kills. Very big factor into the rounds, but for now, MiTH just trying to assert a bit
Scanning
of
ahead.
presence across the map, trying to keep some players from Full Sense pinned down towards certain sites. Now the rotations go across, but not a lot of information gained just yet. You got Alert still
You are
just checking out
divided!
towards mid, but here comes that Cosmic Divide.
Oh, they swing out forward. Cage up, Hunter's Fury used already as well. Not too sure where. But Olsen is gonna try and challenge his cages. Camp George gonna bite it for 2. Kajum can answer only 1. 2, in fact, before John Olsen finds Laz. 2 versus 3. Plant is at least still good. His teammate playing on the other end here, leaving Kadum in a more aggressive stance, playing inside of the smokes. Can choose to play with his teammate here, but I think he wants to take these fights head on. Will be noted by the drone, by the recon, excuse me, as Sushi Boys. Knows all the damage here. Good for 1.
What? Oh!
Saves from Kadum as he jumps off the side, and made in Thailand ends it with a bang, flashy as ever. 2-0 to take the lead over Full Sense.